game day overreactions. When you're watching the game and you get a little bit excited, you can make a couple of silly calls. That's exactly what we want to touch on in this segment. A couple of calls from the Statchat boys and then a couple of calls from our subscribers on YouTube as well. So we really appreciate the feedback that we're getting on there. First off, this was one of my calls over the weekend, watching the North Melbourne game. Horne-Francis, number 1 draft pick. He's looking really good, had probably his best game so far on the weekend. Is he already North Melbourne's best midfielder, as is right now? BT, you liked the look of him on the weekend.
I think, like I said in the group chat, you wouldn't think he's a first-year player. He's built like a 4 or 5 season. His skill isn't as good as like a Simpkin, but the way he hunts the ball and the way he tackles, he's a very good player. And you can see why he was obviously drafted so high. He's definitely top 3 player in their team. Yeah, he's going to be a star. He's an absolute beast, he is.
Taz, is there anyone we're missing here? Obviously, we have spoken about how good the midfield is there for North Melbourne and their young talent. You know, is there anyone that might just be skimming over?
No, I think you're probably almost on the money there. Guys like Luke Davies-Uniacke have showed promise, but hardly been able to put it together in, I think, the 3 or 4, I think maybe 5 years he's had there. Yeah, in terms of being able to hit the ground running, we haven't seen it from any of the North Mids or any of those guys in that system there. So, yeah, I still put Simpkin number 1, but he's a different kind of player. So it's hard to really quantify who's the better one there because they offer 2 different skill set.
Yeah, and look, if he's not there now, he definitely will be in the next couple of years' time. Steve, I want to ask you this question because you haven't been on the podcast for the last couple of weeks, so you've missed a little bit of BT's love affair with Smoke and Joe Daniher. BT was at it again on the weekend. He reckons that Smoke and Joe is the best centre-half forward in the competition. Your thoughts, Steve?
Don't mind it. Don't mind the call. How many has he kicked for the season so far? Anyone got that stat on him?
He's got 12, I think. I think he's equal.
Where does that
second
sort of put
in
him?
Coleman.
Second in the Coleman? I mean, that just about says it all, doesn't it? He's right up there, probably with Harry Mackay at the moment. For me, 2 in-form key forwards.
Are we being picky here on centre-half forward? I mean, BT, he's your man. You love him. Is he a full forward? Is he a centre-half forward? What would you call him?
He's like a traditional type centre-half forward. I'd say Mackay, Tomahawk are your full forwards. And then, because Brisbane like to play either Big O or Darcy Fort or either Charlie Cameron, he plays full forward more than Daniher does. Like, I'm talking out of the square type full forward. I know the game's a little bit different these days, but Daniher's more that. Well, I think he kicked 2 goals from outside 50 on the weekend. So you don't see full forwards kick outside 50, but your centre-half forwards obviously do.
That's fair. And one last overreaction, this one coming from YouTube, our good friend Justin Timberlake's brother. He's a Brisbane fan and he himself doesn't think that the Lions will get any further than a prelim, which is a big overreaction, I think, at this stage of the season. Steve, I mean, Brisbane realistically looking at one of the top 2 teams in the comp right now.
Yeah, but who have they played? Who did they just lose to?
So Geelong, which is Geelong in Geelong. It's not a bad loss. They look competitive.
But their previous fixtures, just trying to have a quick look. I mean, North Melbourne, you expected to win that.
North Essendon and
Essendon.
Port.
Yeah. So maybe besides Port Adelaide, because that was the first game, and at that stage we didn't realise they were going to be as terrible as they are. Sorry, Tazza. But
it's all good.
Besides them, and obviously Geelong, they've not really played anyone of note so far. So don't want to step too far and say they're not in for a shot. But yeah, I mean, I could realistically see that happening. So
that's an interesting one. And look, like I said, we appreciate you guys putting your overreactions in the comments of our YouTube video. So make sure you're doing that if you're watching the footy this weekend and you just think of something that you need to get out. Make sure you let us know because we want to talk about it here on the show next week.